During the interview process, one of the partners thought I was a little dry. I didn't have a job. The market was at a very depressing low, but what I did have was a lot of Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Dami and I'm a licensed architect in beautiful Vancouver, BC. On this channel, we talk about architecture and design and also some tools and strategies that can help us have more meaningful and fulfilling careers in architecture. Having an online presence for me has had a huge impact on my career. And so today I'm going to be talking about the benefits of having an online presence and your personal content when you're applying for jobs, how you can define your niche, what type of content you should be focusing on, and some of my favorite features on Wix, who is kindly sponsoring this video. So in March of 2020, I had finished all my requirements to become a licensed architect. I had finished all my hours and I passed all my exams. So I ended up leaving the firm that I was at. I had a small client on the side that was a franchise bakery, and they were expanding into different locations. It wasn't like super exciting work, but it was something that I could do remotely while I took a break and kind of tried to figure out my next move. I hadn't really planned on anything. Being a basic avocado toast eating millennial, I booked a yoga retreat in Mexico so I can chill and open my chakras and discover the meaning of life. And that is when COVID hit and shattered all my dreams. COVID was basically a death sentence for a lot of retailers, as you know. And so my client basically scaled down their entire operation. A lot of the projects got canceled. And of course, my yoga retreat, of course, it got canceled. I was at a point where I didn't have a job and the market was at a very depressing low. Nobody was hiring at that time. But what I did have was a lot of time. And so that summer, that's when I started my YouTube channel and my official website. A few months into COVID, I got a job offer from a company that I was really interested in. And they had like a 4-step interview process. And in the end, what got me the offer was my videos. Apparently, during the interview process, one of the partners thought I was a little dry. I don't know what that means, but maybe I was being too didactic. Maybe I was nervous. Maybe I was trying to keep it too professional. But after they had watched my videos, they kind of warmed up to me and came through with an offer. I think it's almost like getting a second chance to make a good impression. Like it makes them feel like they know you a little better. You guys have probably heard this statistic before, but something like 70% of your interviewers are gonna Google you before they interview you. And most firms these days, they're looking for people to do the drawings and to do the work, but they're also looking for the right fit and for people who can make a meaningful contribution to the firm. When I went into the interviews, almost everyone knew about my videos, which was actually a little weird, but also cool because it gave them a sense of my interests and my passions and what I'm into. And it gives them a sense of who I am as a person before me going into trying to explain it to them. Of course, getting a job isn't the only benefit of having an online presence. It can also help you establish yourself as an expert in a topic. On a personal level, it can force you to build expertise in a topic. It can help you make side income. It can help you make friends and meet other people who have the same interests. And it can also get you raving fans. Now, I am not saying that you need to go and make a YouTube channel. In fact, if you're in school, you probably want to use that time to focus on school because this stuff is a lot of work. What I'm saying is having some sort of personal, professional content online that gives people a sense of who you are and what your passions are and like what you're knowledgeable in can give you a competitive edge when you're looking for a job. Now, architects by nature are generalists, so you could start a blog and talk about whatever your interests are from day to day, but we don't have an unlimited amount of time in the day, so you kind of want this content to be as effective as possible. So if I were you, I would try to develop a niche in 1 or 2 topics. I think that would be more beneficial than doing something general. But you might be thinking, but I don't really have an expertise in anything. No problem. You can build expertise. That's literally what I did when I was in my little slump. I sat down and I asked these 4 questions. What am I good at? What are my interests? What do I enjoy doing? What do other people say I'm good at? And do I have any proven accomplishments? You take the combination of that, and you don't have to start off as an expert. Nobody is. The whole fun part is that through the process of researching, writing, and talking about it, you are teaching yourself, and slowly you are becoming someone people can refer to. The best part about this creating educational content online is not the raging fans, although I do really appreciate you guys. It's not even the monetization, although I do love money. Like, forget about the jobs or the monetization. Like, it's really about me and like helping me become a better communicator. It is so true what they say. Like, the best way to learn something is to teach it to other people. And when you can distill down ideas and break it down in simple terms for other people to understand, and for other people to use, like, you're learning so much more through that process. And I think that is priceless. And that is something that not a lot of courses can teach you. So one of the most effective ways to build an online presence is having 2 levels of content. Long form, this can be either a blog, a podcast, YouTube channel, or articles on LinkedIn. And short form, so this can be like Instagram, Twitter. By the way, guys, if you haven't added me on these platforms, go ahead and say hi. Short form can help you get noticed, and long form will help you build authority. Once you have the long form content, it's very easy to take that and snip it up and create short form content. I personally have not been too great at doing this, but I am trying to do that right now. More Instagram content coming up. So in my last video, I gave you a step-by-step tutorial on how you can put your work online using Wix, who is kindly sponsoring this video as well. If you haven't watched my other video on how to create a website using Wix, go ahead and watch that first. I'll link it right here. So whether you're creating content on YouTube or on LinkedIn, you will definitely want to have your own website or a home for all of that content, as well as for your personal work, your CV, and your bio. So there's 2, I think, effective ways to create your content for your blog. You can, of course, create multiple, but I think you can do it chronologically or by category. I really, really like Wix because it's very customizable and it's really intuitive and very straightforward. And you can kind of lay things out visually without having to learn to code or anything. One of the other things that I really like is that you can embed a video right into a blog post. Let's say I wanted to embed this video into the blog post. I basically just do this and voila. It's not a link, it's a video directly embedded into the post. And this is great for me because I typically would put in my video into a blog entry if I put out a new video that specific week. I also really like the text editor. It's pretty customizable. You can change the boldness, italics. It's like pretty standard stuff, but you can also change the color of the font. You can also change the highlight. You can also turn this into, there's an option for a quote. And of course, if you want to undo this, you just reset to default. One way to keep all of your blog posts organized is through categories and tags. So I've created a category, personal, travel, architecture, and career. And so I can just select this category, and once I publish it under that category, so once I put it in that category, I just click into the category and then I'll see my blog post. Yeah, the other thing that I really love is that, let's say I had a series of videos. In the thumbnail of the blog post, you can actually see a little preview of the video. So let's say I populate this entire page with posts of my videos. I'll have all of these moving thumbnails. The platform is very, very customizable, and you can basically use it just like InDesign. So you put an image in and you can customize it. You can adjust it the way you want right in the viewer. So, I mean, this is already an edited image, but if I just put in an unedited image, then you can probably do like an auto enhance. And this part is actually really cool. You can change the brightness, bump up the contrast and highlights. And yeah, I have played around with these tools and they're actually quite nice. You can put in filters. Like there's just so many different options on editing the image within the Wix platform. And this just cuts out a really big part of the process, because typically you would have to go into Photoshop or Illustrator or InDesign and edit the image or crop the image and then save it as a JPEG and then bring it into your blog post. But in this case, you can edit it directly in the photo studio here. And you can also add text directly into the images. That is a terrible font, but let's change that. Let's say I want to put in captions, right, directly on the image, then I can kind of do that directly in this editor without having to go into InDesign and placing the text and exporting it as a JPEG. It just cuts out so much of the work. And you can also, this is crazy, you can also add a friggin' lens flare. How awesome is that? Okay, so I'm just gonna add the original image so that you can see the comparison. Okay. Yeah, this actually looks quite a lot better. So yeah, their photo editor is kind of really great because it basically cuts out the whole like post-production process. and cuts out the need to use a whole different set of programs. So, and they have like presets and filters in there that's kind of designed to make your images look really good. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And once you gain a sizable following, there's also an option to monetize your blog post. I mean, of course, I would suggest doing this once you have kind of a sizable following. But yeah, this is an option that's directly embedded in their toolbox. So yeah, this is pretty cool. So basically, it allows you to create, let's say you have exclusive content. It creates a paywall around that content so that you can still have your public content that you put out for free. But for those special videos or special articles, you can put up a paywall so that only people who have a membership can access that content. So yeah, you can do a free plan, like a one-time payment, or you can have an option to do a recurring payment. And yeah, just like lots of ways to customize the fee structure. And yeah, I really, really enjoy using Wix. It's very intuitive. You can kind of lay things out graphically without going into the back end and learning how to use code. And I've used a lot of website builders in my life. I had a blog since I was like 16 years old. So that's more than 10 years. I have not found a platform that was as intuitive and straightforward and just like very visual. So I think this is a great platform for people who want a high level of control, but don't want to actually like spend the time to actually learn how to make a website. And for people who are kind of like picky about the way things look. I really like using it, and I think you guys will like it too. If you guys found this video helpful, hit that like button and leave me a comment. You know how much that helps with the algorithm. If you want to check out my other videos on the whole job application process, I have a video on how to design your architectural portfolio. I have one on how to put that portfolio online. I also have some free templates. So yeah, check it out. I'll leave it in the end cards. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye.